Hello all. For the sake of the tape and the sake of argument, I'm Abbie Calypse, and I'm here to tell you a story. Today we are going all colourful, as I tell you a story about a rainbow. But not any rainbow. I'm going to tell you how to catch a rainbow. And the story starts, like all good stories, in a pub. After I got the pints in, I finally had a chance to take a closer look at my mate Jeff. We had met up after he got back from a work trip to catch up on the news gossip. "How's things?" I asked when we clinked glasses. "You look different." "Not too bad, I hope," he grinned. "Not at all, but the way you are grinning, I expect you did not spend all the time working." I winked. "Want to tell me all about the hearts you broke in hotel bars all over the north?" "You're exaggerating as always," Jeff grinned. Jeff was never one to say no to company. Always upfront about what he was looking for, but breaking a couple of hearts in the process nonetheless. Mostly the trip was the same old. 3 days of meetings, then a conference, then a couple of more meetings thrown in for good measure. "Do you remember Eric, what's his face? Koenig?" "He was at the conference, he says hi." "Oh, cheers, how is he?" "Doing well. Well, a bit unhappy of where he is now, but he has already landed something else. You know how he's always moving up." "Sounds like him. But you're trying to distract me. I'm quite sure Eric is not the reason behind your grin." "Nah, the ambitious types always freaks me out a bit. But it's not what you're thinking. A bar was involved, but it's still different." Jeff was saved by the bell as the waiter brought the chips over. We talked a bit about the small stuff. A short section on the news, which we decided was shit. A bit on footy, which we decided was a bit better, but still shit. And a quick chat about Jeff's mother, who was still not feeling better. Which was shit, to be honest. When Jeff came back with the second round, I felt the break had been going on long enough. "So, what happened in this mysterious bar of yours?" "You're really not letting this go, are you?" "Okay, I'll tell you. But you'll have to promise me not to laugh. It sounds completely bonkers. More bonkers than the time when you accidentally joined a cult. Mate, with you, I've heard it all. And anything that makes you smile like this, I'll take utterly serious. Not fully convinced yet that it was not down to Eric or any other beauty, but God, ouch!" We both laughed as he pinched me. A much-needed laugh. I hadn't noticed how tense we had become. And as Jeff drew in closer to tell his story, I felt a rush of excitement. Okay, so this one evening, I was a bit fed up with all the networking and the fake cheerfulness, and I skipped the official dinner and the let your hair down do, and I went to this little pub close to my hotel for a burger and a pint. The burger was okay, but the APA was really, really nice. And so I stayed for a second one. You know how that is. And I sat there not really looking for company, but then this girl sat down next to me and we started chatting. It was nice to get away from all the conference stuff, but she also told me the most amazing story. She told me she was a rainbow hunter. "What?" That's what I thought, and that's what I said. And she was quite insistent. You know how people are told that there's a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow? Apparently this is not as valuable as the rainbows themselves. "Have you ever tried rainbow?" she asked me. And so I thought, drugs. This is where this is heading. And I asked, "What's that?" "A type of LSD, MDMA. She smiled the sweetest smile I have ever seen on a person and told me I was completely off. She was talking about rainbows. The colourful things in the sky. Apparently they're not only sunshine and raindrops, but there's also some magic in there. I know. I had the same look on my face when she told me. But you know what? I was in the middle of nowhere, and finally someone was talking about things that I hadn't been talking about constantly for the last days, and so I thought, I'll stay until my beer is empty. Go with the flow. So, how do you catch a rainbow then? I asked. Well, with love and magic and an old jar. Honey works best for some reason, she said. Wait a minute. So where do I get love and magic from? I interrupted. You have it with you. It's easier for some people to find, but we all have it. Okay, I'll have to believe you on this one. And what do I do when I found my love and magic? Okay, to find a rainbow, you have to find its end. I grant you, it's a bit of a trip sometimes, but you'll get there. Forget about the gold. It might be a nice add-on if you're strapped for cash, but the rainbows are much more valuable. And if you think about the gold, you will not get the rainbow unless you're really experienced. Because to catch a rainbow, you have to think about the thing that's the most important to you. It will take a while. It might not always be the same. So you best make yourself comfortable. There are a couple of experts out there trying to convince you that they have the perfect pose to give you a rainbow, but they are all charlatans. If you're standing, sitting, standing on your head, it does not matter. Most important thing is that you're comfortable. Open the jar and hold it in your hands. Again, really important that you're comfortable, because even a gem jar will get really heavy really soon. Concentrate. What has worked for you before might not work now. Your dreams and wishes shift. Think about what gives your heart this little bump. What gives you a smile that you don't even notice. What clings to your thoughts and does not let go. Once you got it and you have it stable, you will notice that the rainbow moves towards you. Now you have to carefully move the jar so that it goes there instead. Otherwise you'll harvest the rainbow directly. Can be nice, but not so good if you want to sell it. She laughed. Ever noticed a rainbow that you could see clearly and you wanted to show it to someone and then suddenly it had disappeared? Most likely someone snatched it up. It's relatively quick. You just have to try and keep track of the thought in your head. Don't let it go. Otherwise the rainbow will just go back to where it came from. Once your jar is full, you just put the lid on, and that was that. You make it sound so easy, I joked. It needs some practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. Well, it takes a while and a bit of skill, which makes the end product a tad expensive. How expensive? I asked. She told me, and to be honest, it was less than I expected. It might have been the beer talking, but I was all for giving it a go and seeing the thing through to the end. So, what do I have to do to get myself a piece of rainbow? I asked in the end, half joking. My place is nearby. I can hook you up. She was calm, serious. So I thought, why the hell not? Whatever this was, it seemed like the opportunity of a lifetime. I paid up, and we made our way out. It was really not far. We continued to walk in silence. Her place was nice. I had expected more color in the place of a rainbow hunter. I joked as I looked around the flat that was mostly, white, black and a bit of greyish. I have to admit I expected something hippie-ish, with tie-dyed banners hanging over the walls, and far too many cushioned. I was quite relieved to see that I was wrong. Patchouli always gives me headaches. I have all the colors inside, and so you will do too, she grinned. I hope you don't mind, but I need the money up front. And before you do, let me tell you a bit about what's about to happen. Because it might not work, and I need you to be aware of the risk. Rainbows you catch yourself are a bit more potent, but this one will work. As a beginner, it might even be better for you to start light. If you catch it, that is. Because there is a catch. You still need to go through a similar hunt as we do, but it will be easier, because the rainbow will want out of the glass. Here it is, by the way. She held up a jar with a shimmery mist foam or liquid inside. It was shifting and moving, hard to fathom. If this was all fake, it was really well made. A for effort, worth the money. You will hold the glass and you will think of the thing most important to you. Once you have it, you can open the jar and the rainbow will be yours. Unless, and this is where it can all go to shit, you pick the wrong thing or the wrong moment. It might disappear. I'll need you to be aware of the risk, because there will be no money back if that happens, because the rainbow will be gone. If you're not happy with these terms, I fully understand and I'm happy to call it a day. If you're scared or pissed off, this is unlikely to work. So, what do you say? I took a deep breath and looked at the shiny jar. I wanted this badly. Let's go, I said, and pulled out my wallet. I paid the agreed price. Okay, she said, I'll give you some privacy. I'll be in the room next door if you need me. Think about what's most important to you and open the jar. Enjoy. She smiled her beautiful smile again and went into the other room. I felt a bit stupid sitting in someone else's living room, staring at an old jam jar. Or maybe a honey. But it was also nice to be alone for a while. I tried not to worry about getting this right. I let thoughts rummage around in my head. What might be the most important thing to me? This was an experience already, whatever happened next. It was a whole bit of fun after all. I honestly don't remember how much time passed. I found the thing. I held on to it. Finally, and with trembling hands, I opened the jar. A rainbow formed in front of me. It wiggled a bit as if it was looking for something, and then it engulfed me. I've never felt so happy, so warm, so wanted. I've tried my fair share of drugs, but this is not like it. I can feel that it's becoming less, but it's not like coming down. There's no regret, no wish to get more, to relieve it. It's just an immense thankfulness. It will stay with me for a while. So that's it. This is why I'm different. I have a rainbow inside me. Jeff took a long sip from his beer, while I just stared. No idea what to make out of this story. It kind of made sense, while utterly not making sense. But here he was, beaming from the inside. A bit awkwardly at the moment. Whatever this was, it was doing him good. Whew. This is getting me thirsty. Should I get another round in? It's your turn, but you look like you could do with a break. Jeff laughed, picked up the glasses and went over to the bar. When he came back, we changed the subject. Yeah, I talked a bit about work and some other stuff I cannot remember. None of us mentioned rainbows. We decided to head home soon after that, as we were both beat. When we stood outside saying our goodbyes, I asked the one question that had been going around in my head. So, what were you thinking about? What? Jeff nestled with the zipper from his jacket. What were you thinking about when you got the rainbow? Jeff stopped nestling with the jacket and looked at me with a new smile on his face. Finally he said, I love you, mate. Thank you all. This was it for today, and I hope to see you again next week.